Do you sometimes find yourself in situations where you suddenly got taken over by anger or emotions you don't feel are yours, or thought patterns that really feels like they're hindering you and you're kind of losing control? Often these forces inside us feels stronger than us and they kind of rule our life, and it doesn't feel good. We kind of end up in patterns and behavior, doing the same stuff again and again and again, even though we know that's not really what we really want to create and be and have in our life. So, what to do? Well, the first one is to be aware of these patterns and how they actually came into existence and how we can see them and find out what they really are, because there is a massive transformational power in them, and you can turn it around from being something that holds you back to something that empowers you and lifts you up. Sounds like a good plan? Well, watch this next clip. I'll go more into the theoretical part of it, but I promise it won't be boring. I have most trust in when it comes to pointing out what this is and how it works. His name is Victor Wolf, and he runs something called Holodynamics. And he just said, there is no word for it, so I'll make up a word. And he called it a holodyne. So he says that there is information systems in us, and they have power to overpower us, like you just described. They have all the knowledge, and they're created by past experience, like a strategy. When I was 3 years old, I did something that felt like an impulse, and the world around me said no, and I stretched out into the world, and I got burnt, and I kept my hand in. And from then on, it has been a generalized strategy to keep that expression inside, because it's not safe to come out with it. And then that's a part of the information system. There's a small part, a holodyne. And you have gathered those in childhood, in work life, with like masculine characters like father, teachers, bosses, feminine characters, mother first, and then different teachers, bosses, authority figures in our lives. And then when we want to find a partner, a girlfriend or boyfriend, man or woman, then that's also very influenced by our patterns. So it's holodynes. So I have a lot of holodynes in me from my life. I also have some from early in my life when I was in the womb of my mother. Maybe you do as well. And then from actually when the egg that I was made from was actually made in my mother when she was in the womb of her mother. So it goes generations back, already there. And all of the impressions is in blueprints stored in cell memories. So Victor Wolf is looking more into science to find explanations of this. And he has a really good book called Holodynamics. So these holodynes are accessible because there are holographics. They have a visual connected to the information system. And by addressing the visual of it and transforming the visual, the rest also transforms. And also with a hologram, you can divide it up into small parts, and every part has the information enough to recreate the whole picture. Meaning that if I change a small part of me, everything is changed. So the change goes from micro to macro. Vern, which is one of my teachers and friends, he has a lot more to say about this topic. And I can go on and on and on. But he also says that, yes, it's stored and it's created in my own biology, my own life, in the history of my forefathers. It can be actually influenced by the collective. Like I'm born in Norway, and in the Scandinavian countries we have something called the law of Jante, which is trying to hold us all back, saying, you're not worth it, shouldn't think good about yourself, shouldn't try to be more, like trying to keep everybody down. It's a cultural pattern, and it's a part of my information system.